Christu, glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever.
On behalf of all of us at the Ukrainian Catholic Education Foundation and our colleagues at the Ukrainian Catholic University, I want to welcome you all to our wonderful and first of its kind Zoom calls, introducing you to some of the outstanding leaders of the student body at the Ukrainian Catholic University. We've got a wonderful array of over 100 people besides our staff and our students. We have over 100 people that have signed up from Florida to Toronto to San Francisco and Denver and Boston. So we're very delighted that you could all join us this afternoon, evening, or morning, depending on when you join. My name is Alex Kuzma. I'm the Chief Development Officer of the Ukrainian Catholic University. And, you know, for many years now, our Friends of UCU committees have been often cajoling us and begging us to bring more students to the United States for our banquets so that they could meet some of these delightful people. And those of you who've had a chance to visit UCU, of course, have had that opportunity, but many have not. And as Archbishop Boris would often say, there's even in difficult times of the coronavirus, we have some advantages. And one of them is that we've learned how to use the Zoom technology to have these larger meetings. And so I just want to welcome all of you. Before we start, I'd like to introduce Reverend Yuri Kozlovsky, who is the master of the Collegium, our residential college at UCU, and also the director of student life at the university. So Father, if you would lead us in prayer, we'd be very grateful.
Thank you, Alice. Glory to Jesus Christ, to everybody. And as it is our custom, let's begin our meeting with a prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses,
as we forgive those who
trespass against us.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Бо Твоє є царство, і сила, і слава Отця, і Сина, і Святого Духа, нині і повсякчас, і на віки вічні.
Amen.
Amen. Once again, glory to Jesus Christ, and thank you for this beautiful opportunity to maybe start this conversation, but my job is very small, and I will try to be short in presenting what we are going to be doing today, because it's not really about university and staff and administration. It's about those other people that we brought to meet with you today, our students. My name is Father Yuri Kozlovsky, and as always introduced me, I am the head of the Students' Life at the university. But originally I was invited here 6 years ago to head the dormitory facility of our community, which is called Collegium. And it's not only a dormitory, it's a place of formation. There is a 1-year-long formation program that we are working on especially with the first year students. And one of the main reasons why I chose to move to another city, at the time I was a priest in Ivano-Frankivsk, in a different diocese, and for Ukrainians, moving is not an easy task. But and this job came with the position with the requirement of living at the dormitory facility here with the students, moving into a much smaller apartment and into a dormitory actually, which I must admit I did have some doubts about doing this. But what really sort of convinced me that this is the right thing to do were actually the UCU students. I have 3 children. At the time they were 16 or even less, maybe 15, 12 and 5, my children at the time. And I wanted for them to live in a community of UCU students. For me, it was a bit of a difficult decision, but I never regretted in the 6 years that I live with them and I work with them, especially because my children, they have the best of community of young people, vibrant, hardworking, searching, facing many challenges, but I never regretted that my children had this beautiful experience of mixing, living among students of UCU. And for me, this is a place where I love to be, where I enjoy to be, and I want to thank all of you for making that possible. Uh, then later on, I became the head of Students' Lives Office, and um, working with the students, I now know all the statistics of at least 15 up to 20 organizations that we have working at our university, with some, at least I would say, 150 students actively participating in the students' life, but inviting many more and making many more follow them in their activities. We have several major sectors that where the students organizations are active, and that ranges from social and cultural sector through academic sector, ecological sector, physical fitness sector, with several organizations to each of these sectors. But all this data, statistics, numbers, that is practically nothing. So I want to give the floor to the people that we brought to this conversation, to this encounter, and I give back the microphone to Alex so that he can lead us into this journey of getting to know our students. And I really wish to you that your journey of meeting them will be somewhat as exciting as the one I'm living every day in my life here at the college. Thank you again for allowing me to speak at this event, at this venue, and thank you for helping us realize this dream of building learning and living and praying community. Thank you. Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever. Thank you very much, Father Yuri. I know everybody's eager to hear from the students. I just want to say that they really are the embodiment of the slogan that UCU has developed: witnessing, serving, and communicating, making sure that the students' life is fully integrated into their academic experience. And in many ways, they're also the embodiment of another favorite slogan of our president, Archbishop Boris, Vizme izrobe. And that means that these are students that are not only students, they're also doers. They get things done. And so without further ado, I want to introduce our first speaker, Darina Sudacek, who is the president of the student government. Darinko, majte slovo.
Yeah, okay. Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever.
My name is Darina. I was born in Kharkiv. It's the eastern part of Ukraine. So during my education in Ukrainian Leadership Academy, I've heard from Professor Yaroslav Hrytsak, he's quite famous Ukrainian historian and also publisher, about the UCU. And after the time, I've decided to search for more information about that university, also looking for the most appropriate program for myself. And finally, 3 years ago, entered to UCU on the program Ethics, Politics, Economics on the Social Science faculty. And so first years of my education, I've had the academic scholarship, which is given for the good results of the national exams. Like last year, I've received the help from the Ignatovich Family Fund, which is a kind of leadership scholarship, which is given for young leaders who may, for example, provide social projects. So now I'm the president of student government and also part of the organization, which is organized quiz games, kind of smart and funny games for students. I think that now I want to talk about the biggest projects that we made as a team of student government. And first of all, we've registered the whole structure of self-government as NGO to receive grants for the projects and also to collect the dues for the organization itself. The second big project is that we had participated in a national student forum in Kharkiv, like my native city, and talk about the UCU and also the self-government system. The main topic was the apathy of the students who are trying to create some independent self-government structures in the university, but failed. And we were trying to share our experience and also practices with students from other universities of Ukraine in order to help them. The second was the reformation of the parliament. We've changed the whole electional process in order to give more voices for the programs, not faculties, and think that now it's more representative body of students. And the fourth one is the creation of the official website of our self-government structure. Like it may show the all branches of our governments, also current representatives, organization, free documents, and etc. And I think that the launch should be on the 1st of August. So if you want, you may also look for our self-government structure. Like much work was done this year, I suppose, and we as previous team of student government, like trying to work to create equal opportunities for students to develop, and also the possibility to cooperate with each other and to realize the ideas. Like we believe that mechanism is working when everyone follow the rules and like everyone have their responsibilities, and everything is transparency. And self-government for me is kind of quite a good indicator to show is this mechanism effective or not. And believe just that our self-government now it's quite one of the good examples of this mechanism. And so yes, in the end, I just want to say thank you actually for the support, for the attention and actually interest, because actually I think that it inspires in some way, and also give this power to move on and exceed expectations, I suppose. Yes. So this is all. Thank you for the attention, and give words to Pan Alexei.
Thank you very much, Darino. I just wanted to welcome several members of our board of directors that just joined us, our chairman of the board, Taras Shmagala from Cleveland, and Zvinka Kristalovich, and also our colleagues from Canada. I saw Oksana Kulin just joined, so welcome for all those who've joined us. Next, I'm going to give the word to Diana Obitnyak, who will explain a little bit about, she's the vice president of Vidlunya, and she's a junior in social work at UCU. So Dianko, majte slovo.
Thank you. Glory to Jesus Christ for everyone. I am a member of our student organization Vidlunya, which develops volunteering in the student community. Also, our organization helps children in the orphanages, providing them with the tutoring and master classes. This part of our impact is the most essential for me and for all of our volunteers, because it is really touchable and unforgettable moments when the child from orphanages can tell you that you are only his friend in this place. So another our activities are different charity events, such as Children Need More Than Medicine, which helps to provide children in hospitals with the books. And also we are recording audiobooks for a blind community. We need a lot of volunteers for our activities, and we need also coordinators who will manage and provide with the information for these events, for this volunteering. So I was a coordinator of volunteers last year, and I noticed that there are many issues and in this process, and I realized that this experience can help me to improve the process of volunteering. So I decided to take a responsibility and assemble a team to start a new project, what will help us to make volunteering fast, fun, and of course, more effective. So now we develop an online platform, Voluntario, with IT developers, with designers, and it will be online platform like a site. So we hope that we can start and present our project in the start of September. Secondly, I have another activities outside the university. I lead a group of teenagers of my church community and support them. Also, I am coordinator of Mentors for Education Breaks Barriers program. We provide mentors for children from different orphanages in Lviv. too. Because of pandemic, now I had to move from Lviv to my hometown. It is Zaricha in Carpathian region. So now I have a possibility to work in my community, to help in my community and be a volunteer here, especially now because today we have floods in our area. So it is a great experience and great chance for me to help vulnerable groups during the current time and this floods in my own community. Also, I'm interested in pandemic social work, so I want to do research for that as my course paper. So I'm really grateful in Atomic Family Fund for support because our online platform, as I said earlier, is really important and necessary tool for our student community now. And with your help, with your support, we can do it. So thank you for opportunity to be a part of UCU and to serve people and study here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diana. I also want to welcome Vladek Andriy Rabi from Philadelphia, who just joined us. And just to let you know that if you'd like to submit questions, we will have a short period of time at the end of the student presentations for questions and answers. So do look for the chat feature at the bottom of your screen. And also Roman suggested that if you'd like a better view, you might look at the gallery view in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. So next, thank you, Diana. I want to introduce Roman Kmita, the president of the debate club at UCU, who's a sophomore in the program of ethics, policy, and economics. Romana, you're next.
Thank you. My name is Roman Kmita. I am a co-leader of a student organization called the UCU Debate Club. I am not officially enrolled in any organizations beyond UCU. However, I do volunteer a lot. For instance, I have already been volunteering for a lot of years in a charity organization called the Community of Mutual Aid Emmaus Ocelia, where we work to help people who lost their homes and who have troubles in their lives to get better. At the beginning of my studying year that has just ended, I won a scholarship from the Ukrainian foundation called Believe in Yourself. This was a one-year scholarship that I gained because I became one of the top 5 best students in my group rating. This scholarship covered 70% of my tuition fees for my second studying year. Now I'm trying my best to get some scholarship once more, as the one I had got has just expired. The most interesting student organization for me is the UCU Debate Club. It was found just when I entered the university by a group mate and the best friend of mine now called Roman Stasiuk. In the beginning, I helped him with organizing events and planning debate games, and later we were the two who did everything in the organization. There are more than 100 students involved in the debates in UCU now. Debates are highly important because they develop critical thinking, they make people listen to each other. It also influences the way people perceive the world and information around them. Moreover, our club creates environment where intellectuals can discuss actual topics and create opinions. For instance, there were topics like whether should free gun access be permitted in Ukraine, or whether should private electricity producers produce electricity, or should it be permitted only to state production in Ukraine. Generally speaking, we do what the university as a phenomenon was created for. We conversate, we exchange thoughts with each other. UCU is a place where people not only learn, but they also create a community. They all become a part of a special environment where people feel comfortable to progress together with others. The UCU Debate Club is a place that will make our participants discover new Ukrainian cities, communities, people from other cities and from abroad. I personally took part in 2 debate tournaments called the Rise and the international one called Lviv Open. I found a lot of like-minded people, and we continue to grow intellectually together. All the world leading universities like Oxford, Cambridge, and others do have their debate clubs that are more than just student organizations. They do even have separate buildings for their debate clubs. This is why we still have where to grow. So I hope that what you have just heard was interesting for you, and I do thank you. I sincerely thank you for all the support that we get from you. We do extremely appreciate it and we value it. Thank you for everything you do for us, and we hope that we will make this world better thanks to you and what you do to us.
Thank you very much, Romana. Very kind of you to say that. Next, I want to introduce Jana Kurlak, who's the Speaker of the Student Parliament. She's a sophomore in computer science. So Jana, you're next in line.
Can't hear Jana.
Yeah. You know what? We'll see if we can come back to Jana. Next, I'll introduce Yulia Datsuk, who works with the as the head of the organization of Hutirka. She's a sophomore in sociology. Yulia?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Yulia. I originally come from Lutsk. This is Volyn region, not so far from UCU, but still I come from another town, another city. And during my studies at UCU, I stayed at Collegium, a student residence, which this was like a beautiful experience, and I'm going to tell you about it a little bit later. So last year, I received a happy email about that said that I got a full scholarship by the Grey Family Foundation, which covers a full year of my studies at the university, as well as accommodation in Collegium and lots of other things. So in September of 2019, I filled the trunk of my dad's car with backpacks and suitcases, left Lutsk, my hometown, and went towards my dream to Lviv. The realization that my dream to study at UCU was only possible because there were people, the Grey Family Foundation, as well as members of my faculty who believed in my ability to succeed at the university and do amazing things, truly makes a big difference. I am forever grateful for the opportunity to study here and be in such a value-oriented environment. And by doing community service, leading student initiatives, organizing charity events, I want to pay back to the university as well as to the people who made my studies here possible. So while living in Collegium, I volunteered in the Emmaus House. It is an apartment on our campus where people with disabilities live. And in January of 2020, I learned that Emmaus needed financial support to implement some of their projects and also to support the medical needs of some of the people living there. So knowing that and being passionate about the great mission of the Emmaus, I and a few of my friends decided to organize a charity ball for UCU staff, students, and donors to raise money for Emmaus. We also applied for a grant founded, if I'm not mistaken about the name, by the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs of the United States Department of State. And we're lucky to receive a maximum amount of $500 for the event, but unfortunately had to postpone it to the next fall due to the quarantine restrictions. Hopefully we will be able to support the Emmaus and do great things a little bit later. Also about what was already mentioned, during the quarantine, I personally faced the lack of community, and it was really strange to be so far away from my friends, favorite professors, Collegium community, and Emmaus. So by talking to my friends, I decided to found a student initiative called Hutirka. In English, I think it should be translated something like the gathering. So the idea was to gather students together with professors and with other really interesting people and discuss some topics, create create the environment which we had when we were on campus. Also, apart from being involved in lots of student initiatives, I also work as a university representative of the Future Leaders Exchange Program at UCU. I participated in this program when I was and went to the US for one academic year when I was in high school. And now I volunteer to keep Flex alumni community at UCU together and closer. I spent my exchange year in the little town in Northern California called Paradise, which actually, I think you saw it in the news, got burned in the wildfires 2 years ago. And my host family's house also burned. So to somehow pay back to Flex program and to show my community that I don't forget about them and thankful to them, I do this thing for Flex program. So being actively involved in the university activities, volunteering, gives me a chance to pay back to you guys, to people who support our university and truly do big things for it. So I just want to say thank you once more. And I'm really happy to study here and to be here now with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julio. I just wanted again to mention that if anyone wants to sign up on the chat line to offer their questions or comments, feel free to do that. Roman will be monitoring that. I believe our next speaker is Olya Stasiuk from the Subroza History Association. She's a graduate student in history. So Olya, you have the next word if you're available. All right. Yeah, we may have some technical issues, so forgive us for that. But next, I'm going to call on Taras Kurilko, who is a senior in history this year, the fourth year at UCU, and he will tell us a little bit as the head of an organization called, curiously, Kavalerka. Taras, maite slovo.
Yes, glory to Jesus Christ. Welcome to all. My name is Taras Kurilko, and I'm already finished my third year at Ukrainian Catholic University, and I'm living in the small village called Khvatyev. Historically, it is between Oleski and Podgoretsky Castle in Lviv region, and according to my small adjust to a small community to live, I've got a special input, a new community for that, and always, and thanks to my donators, Mr. and Mrs. Guy and Carolyn Camerata from Texas. I appreciate them and thank you for that motivational scholarship. According to my student activity life, I most consider to the student organization called Kavalerka, but if we've translated from Ukrainian dialect, it can be translated like hangout or making fun or going for fun. So our organization is quite not similar to many others because we create a special place for students by making parties or events where they can relax or share experience in non-academic atmosphere. So our idea was to create a special place when students can go listen to music and relax and talk to each other, communicate in the great atmosphere. And our most popular event is called Switch Car or Candle. If it translates into English, it was created for the first year, fresh year students. And in this event, we already gather about 600 people, students, talking each other, dance each other, and also collecting with the second, third, or fourth year students. And together we create a special place to community and trying to continue in our events. So I thank you to all donators and all fundators that our organization can exist in Ukraine Catholic University. And I hope that we can multiplicate our experience to other locations, to other universities, and to other locations, because it's really important to share our experience from the other campus to many others. So I thank you for all fundators and to our university.
Thank you, Tarase. Very well said. Next, I want to call on Tanya Yashchishin, the co-founder of the Be Eco organization.
Glory
Tanya?
to Jesus Christ. My name is Tatiana Yashchishin, and I just finished my second year in UCU, majoring in philology. I was born in Krasnoperkovsk in Crimea, but my true hometown is Lviv. For the last 6 years, I've been doing archery, currently being a member of the Ukrainian national archery team. And being an athlete, people were surprised of my decision to study at the Ukrainian Catholic University, but for the last few years of high school, it's been my dream. My parents were temporarily deployed to the Eastern Ukraine as the military officers, and my sister and I were both applying for UCU. And it would be really hard for our family, but with the support of the university, we were both able to study there. In my first year of studies, I received the social scholarship. And in my second year, I received the scholarship from Ms. Olga Magaletska. And because of this support, I received an opportunity to improve not only academically, but also personally. Being a witness of the climate changes and the destructive impact of humanity on the environment, I decided to become a part of the world movement. And last year, I launched an initiative in UCU called Be Eco to promote the eco movement. And surprisingly, a lot of students got interested in my idea. We based our initiative on Pope Francis' Laudato Si', and Pope Francis was hugely influenced by the teachings of the Pope John Paul II about environment. And in Laudato Si', Pope Francis critiques consumerism and irresponsible development, laments environmental degradation, and also global warming. The goal of Be Eco is to teach people about the importance of being conscious about the environment and our impact on it, and to teach how to become eco-friendly in their everyday life, and to show that even the smallest act can help the global movement. This semester, we were planning a lot of events, but unfortunately, we had to cancel them for people's safety. The COVID-19 pandemic became a challenge for us, but it also gave us the opportunity to improve our online activity and show that even the pandemic is tied to the ecology issue. Now we're working on changing the format of our work, and we'll continue our work soon. Ukrainian Catholic University is a trendsetter among Ukrainian universities, and I believe that seeing our initiative, people would be inspired to do the same and join the global movement. And I would like to take this opportunity to express the gratitude from the Be Eco team and all the students of the UCU to you and for your support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. Really appreciate it. And while we're on the environmental theme, I wanted to introduce Ilya Patrick, who is the head of the Zelena Korobka, or the Green Box movement, who's a student in EPE, also Ethics, Policy, and Economics. Ilya, maite slovo.
Thank you. My name is Ilya Patrick. I am from Lviv. I am a member of Ukrainian scouting organization PLAST. Now I'm a third-year student of Ethics, Politics, Economics at UCU. And this year I have a scholarship that is founded by Mr. Adrian Slavotsky and Mrs. Christine Balko-Slavotsky, to whom I am very grateful for the support of my studies. And to begin my story at UCU, first I joined student organization that was called UCU Active, and with this organization we made Eco Festival in UCU, and more than 300 people joined us as visitors of this event. Also, I am a part of a student organization that is called Mind On. We organize some quiz games, and I am the host of games, and also I create some tours for our games. So at UCU, I am also co-organizer of the UN model. We are making this project together with students from McEwan University from Edmonton, Canada, and with students from Kyiv-Mohyla Academy. last year we took part in a UN model in Erfurt, Germany, and won some awards as resultative delegates. It was the first time as Ukrainian students had this delegation in the international level, and we plan to take part in even bigger conference in New York this spring, but because of the pandemic, it was cancelled. So now we hope to organize in the next weeks online school together with Canadian students and also with some other students from Ukrainian universities. And in the next year, we also plan to develop our organization and take part in some international events. So outside of UKU, I'm the head of a non-governmental organization that is called Green Box. I joined this organization when I finished my school, and step by step, I took more responsibility on me and became the head of this organization. Green Box was founded in 2016. It was after the tragedy on landfill near Lviv, and our mission is to make waste sorting easy for people, to teach them to behave with their waste properly and to understand how important resources for us are. And to implement our mission, we hold some public events, organize lectures, participate in festivals, provide some consultation for schools, offices, and so on. In 2019, we opened first with public waste sorting station, where we educate people, teach them how to work with their waste and how to give that waste for the recycling. And more than 14 students and alumnus of UKU are or were participants of our organization. So it's like also one of the student organization, but not inside UKU. And our organization is one of the largest in Lviv and even in Ukraine, especially in Western Ukraine. So it is a big challenge and also the best experience. What can I have in the student time? So because it's like financial management, team management, project management, and so on. And it is very connected with ethics, with politics, with economics. So the main studies that I have in the university, I can try in some practical way. So it is very gratifying for me. And also I want to say thank you for your support for our university and our students. And thank you for your attention. It was my short story.
Thank you, Ilya. Unfortunately, we are a little bit under time constraints, so we're going to try to move this along. And I wanted to thank all of the folks that are adding comments to the chat room. We may not be able to get to all of your questions, but we will certainly get back to you after the session. Our staff will be glad to do that. Next, I want to invite Marko Husak, a seminarian, to talk about his project in the pro-life movement. Marko, proszę.
Yeah, glory to Jesus Christ. Well, let me to introduce myself. My name is Marko Husak. I live in Ukraine. I'm from majestic city of Lviv. I finished the first year of my master theological program. This is the 5th year of my studies. My donor is Mrs. Kruchak Bogdana from the state Michigan of the USA. And I thank God for the gift of your life and sincere heart. In addition to being a student of theology, I'm a seminarian. Having this opportunity, on behalf of all seminarians, I would like to express my deep gratitude and assure you in keeping you in our prayers. At the first seminary, I take an active part on a vocal formation, the octetto chorus, on the seminary choir, on the medical chaplaincy, and on the organization pro-life, whose tasks are similar to the tasks of the public organization movement for Life, Ukraine version Ruch za Życia. This year, I had the opportunity to lead the pro-life organization. This year, we managed to hold monthly internal formation meetings to which we invite various competent speakers and studied, discussed, and analyzed current pro-life topics. We conducted a series of lessons for the 8th grade students at the Lesia Ukrainka school. We have been cooperating with this school already the second year. We plan to cover more schools and to interview students, but the lack of members of the organization does not allow us to implement this. The mission of this organization is to carry the truth about the human life from the moment of conception till natural death. The mission is directly related to bioethical issues. For example, one of the most pressing bioethical problems in Ukraine is surrogate motherhood. Ukraine has become a center of commercial surrogate motherhood. There is almost no country in Europe where commercial surrogate motherhood is allowed. Ukraine is one of those countries in which it's practiced, though Ukraine regards itself as a Christian state. As seminarians, we also care for the homeless. Every Thursday, we organize lunches for them. Also, we organize action of cleaning and washing cinema. In this way, homeless people can to express their gratitude and do good deeds for society. I must say, the pandemic shook the whole world. Many people lost their jobs. Many families don't have the means to feed their children or pay for housing. People's lives are on the verge of survival. The first seminary participate on a social project to purchase and collect social package boxes of food for such families. And finally, it's not occasionally that the word benefactors consist of two words, good and do. It's not easy to do good deeds, but it is noble. May God bless you for your charity. Thank you for your attention. Lord Jesus Christ.
Glory forever. Thank you very much, Marko. Next, I'd like to call on Maria Fedor from the Bratstvo organization. She's a junior in social work. Pani Maria?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Maria Fedor, and I'm studying a social work program at UCU. I have finished my third year study. And during the last year, I was head of UCU Brotherhood. It is one of the biggest and the oldest student organization at UCU. And the main goal of our organization is to unite young people in order to carry out different social activities. And annually, we organize various types of projects, including charity and entertainment events. We work with children, particularly with orphans and citizens from Eastern Ukraine. I'll describe you more fully about our project. So the first project I would like to present is the Easter and Christmas together. Every year we are going to Easter south of Ukraine to celebrate the greatest holiday together. We are spending 4 or 5 amazing days with citizens, sharing Ukrainian tradition between each other and celebrate. The next one is the camp for all orphans, a project which I founded and still coordinate. This is a week-long outreach camp where we try to share useful information with children to influence on their comprehensive development and have a good time together. And we raise money for the camp at the charity of Auction of Meetings. Is another project of Brotherhood. Also, students from our university have a good option to bring up some interesting topic on the workshop from Stud Action and for other students. And the next project from our organization, this is Stud Action. The Brotherhood also give opportunity to people who like an art to express themselves. That student society is a place where you can read or listen some poems. Nevertheless, spending time together is quite important for the brotherhood. That's why we have different inner meetings, team buildings, where a real community is formed, actually, I believe. In general, I think that student government in our university means a lot for students because it engages us to take responsibility for yourself, for people with you work with whom, because yeah, and also um, university and our student government brings true leaders, I believe. What about me? This year, I am glad to be to had a scholarship from Ignatovich Foundation for Young Leaders. Also, I had a brilliant opportunity to be a member of the Mentor for Students project. Alona, who was my mentor, gave me some tips about professional thing, about how to work with team, self-development stuff, etc. We are keeping in touch until now, actually. So thank you for your attention and for your supporting.
Thank you very much, Maria. I know that hearing about the activities of the Bratstvo must be very satisfying to our Vice Rector of Communications and Development, Natalia Klimovska, because she was a member of the Bratstvo going all the way back to the 1990s, as I recall, and to the student strikes. So, Наталю, to ваша гордість і мрія, що такі молоді люди продовжують вашу місію. So God bless you. Great. Next, I'm going to call on Christina Gavron from Ukraine United, who works at the Institute of Social Pedagogy, who studies there. Thank you, Christina. Ваше слово.
Glory to Jesus Christ. I'm Christa Havran, and I'm from Ternopil. I ended study on social pedagogy on Faculty of Health Science, and now I study in master degree on Faculty of Theology, and also I work in UCU. 3 years I was in Brotherhood UCU. 1 year I was mentor for the boy, like a project education break barriers about what tell Diana and Maria. And now I want to tell you about United Ukraine. I'm in this organization for 4 years. United Ukraine is a continue of brotherhood because after nativity in the East in 2019, we decided to do our own organization, which has direction to work with soldiers and young people from the East. Our mission is unite the country through culture activities so as to give rise to social responsible citizens. Our work is help people to break stereotypes. In the East, we show our soldiers and civil people that young people remember that in Ukraine is war and that we are able to have responsibility to change Ukraine and build a strong country for our future. And also when we tend to come back to live to our home, we speak with our friends and tell that war is in Ukraine, and we can to remind them that we need to do something to be like a soldier, because we know that war in Ukraine is not about gun, but also about culture, and we make this culture war, so we are also like a soldier. I am a coordinator of our project Weekend and Live, when we invite people, teenagers from the East to the Lviv and show them our city, the mountains, the castles, the traditions, and make with them different trainings and do all that they have to friends with Jan. And after that, we make a different project with them. Also, we have project Nativity to the East, when UCU students come to the East and show nativity for the civil people and for the soldiers. We have theater in the East, when we, together with children from the East, make a performance and together show this performance to our soldiers. We have project Rejoice Together, when we came with UCU students to the East and have a culture program with school, which is in the near to the front line, and also weekend in Lviv. For me, United Ukraine is opportunity to be a part of history. We are responsible for our future, and it's my way to be a Ukrainian soldier. For years, our work have a real friends from the Eastern Ukraine, and as for me is that when I come to Mariinka, I every time see girls. Lera come to say me hi, and these girls was in all our projects. It's it's very cool that we have friends in another part of our country, and now together we can build the strong Ukraine. So we want to say thank you all the other support donator, because when we come to the soldier, every time we say, we call thank you, but it's thank you, it's together the other is like students and the other donors, because without money, without support and support from the UCU, we cannot do what we do now. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Kristinko. Just before I introduce our last two speakers, just wanted to mention that there's a certain continuation of this tradition of going out to the East, the tradition of Christmas together and Easter together continues through a program called BUR, Budujmo Ukrainu Razom, Building Ukraine Together, which was formed by an alumnus of UKU, Yuri Didula. That now has over 1,000 volunteers, and they're rebuilding houses that were damaged in the fighting, and also developing dialogue and reconciliation programs with young people in Eastern Ukraine and now in Central Ukraine as well. So, Kristin, daj vam Bože, Mariju, daj vam Bože vse najkrajše. We have two more speakers, and then we'll open up for questioning. I wanted to ask Nadia Kaczmar to explain another very interesting project called Plackart. Nadia, majte slovo.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say that I'm really grateful to be a part of this incredible meeting. Well, I just finished my second year of Ethics, Politics, Economics program. And today I will be representing one of our youngest student organizations called Plackart. So basically what we do is that we conduct national academic mobility programs. So we give Ukrainian students opportunity to study for 1 week in some other Ukrainian university. In fall winter 2019, almost 23 of our UKU students took part in this program, and they were really satisfied. Week after week, semester after semester, more and more universities wants to join our program. Right now we have over 10 universities, and I think that's the reason for that is that our main goal is to exchange experiences. Like here at UKU, we have a great cooperation between students and university staff, between professors and students, and this all works pretty well. We face some challenges from time to time, but surely we're like cohesive university and we cooperate really well. And for us, it is really important to spread the progress we've made here to other universities, to show them how Ukrainian universities can work without any corruption, without any bribes or whatever. So it is really important for us. And personally, I took part in this program for 1 week. I went to Kyivo-Mogilянska Academy. And so it was really interesting experience for me because I met new people. I also discovered some progress they've made in their university. And I think that this progress can be implemented in our university. So we're working on that. So it is amazing student organization. And of course, due to the quarantine, we're not able to conduct this national academic mobility program, but we hope that sooner or later we will be back on the road and everything will be fine. So speaking of my other activities in UKU, I'm a member of Students' Parliament, and right now we are working on improvement of studying process, so the cooperation between students and professors. I would like to also say that I'm a member of one NGO called Lviv Youth Club, and then we volunteer a lot, and we are organizing many projects, and also we are now going online and conducting project called One Day Meetings. So we invite many youth influencers and etc., and we interview them. So also I want to say that these experiences are really important for me. First of all, because I form my own set of values. So I gain many skills, I meet new people, of course, but I discover myself through these experiences. I discover myself as a person, who I am, what do I want to do, and etc. So this is really important for me. And also after first year of my studying at UKU, I understood that developing university, spreading the knowledge about university, it's like not only work that lies on the university staff or professors, but also this work lies on students. So I had like my personal need to pay back for my amazing studies, for giving me such many opportunities and possibilities to develop. And so that's probably why I do all these things. And also I want to thank you all for being here and for being here with us alongside our long way of developing and etc. You're such a big part of our community, and we are incredibly grateful for you and for your support. So I just really want to thank you. I think that's it.
Great. Thank you so much, Nadia. This kind of collaboration and interface with other universities in Ukraine, like Kyiv-Mohyla and Ostroshka Academia, are really important. We're also starting to build, for those of you who may not know, we're building some really powerful partnerships with other universities like Notre Dame and Fordham, and taking advantage of my discretion as the facilitator today, I can just mention that my cousin Bob Kravchuk just chimed in and said that Indiana University is looking for students from UKU to come out and take part in their policy program, their international department. So there's some other excellent opportunities that we're exploring for UKU. And Nadia, I just want to congratulate you on the really fine work that you're doing. I think we only have one more speaker. We're at 1 o'clock, and so Mikhailo Popovich, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and the integrated session that you're working on. So Mikhailo, you have the final word among the students, and I apologize if we haven't been able to get anyone else in, but proszę дуже, Mikhailo.
Oh, thank you for this important role. And I also want to say thank you to my colleagues for sharing their stories. Glory to Jesus Christ, to everyone. Okay, let me start with a few words about myself. My name is Mikhailo Popovich. I'm a third year UKU student. My major is history and archaeology. I'm from Ivano-Frankivsk region, from a small town Nadvirna. And I'm lucky to have a scholarship from the Boris Loshkin Foundation. And I'm really happy that UKU provides scholarships, because it's a real gift for me and my family. And I want to use the moment and to say thank you to everyone who make scholarships in UCU possible. Besides studies, I'm also like to participate in various volunteers activities and projects in UCU, and such as integration sessions that I will describe a bit later, and also beyond the university. I have a short story about my volunteer work outside UCU, and ironically, it began when I visited Sheptytsky Center for the first time. I was so excited by the library of UCU, and also I was upset that in my town, library is an unattractive place and looks like a Soviet-style spot. So after 2 years, from that day, thanks to a lot of work and volunteering work, thanks to my parents, friends, city council, Build Ukraine Together program, and hundreds of active citizens, we have renovated our lovely library to a place worth visiting. And there is a picture of that library now. Okay, and but also I have a pleasure to tell you about the integration session for first year UCU students. And let me explain what is UCU integration session with one specific example. Students from different faculties for some time are working together in teams with charity and non-governmental organizations from Lviv. As for me, this cooperation helps undergraduates to face the volunteering and public life of Lviv. Moreover, this collaboration helps Lviv's charity and non-governmental organizations to use the potential of UCU students for creating projects and solving different small issues of organizations. Usually one always asks me why I have been participating in this session for the second time. And my answer is simple. It's because I really like the idea of an integration session, because I strongly believe that session is something that allows students to understand the value of civic engagement. And I think that integration sessions show students that civic engagement really matters. And thank you for listening, and I hope you found it interesting. And thank you once more for your help for everything.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mikhaila. I can quote Pani Kvitka Ivanecka, who just said, "Душа радіє, многонадійні студенти, дякую, продовжуйте працю." So you're already getting rave reviews in the first minutes after your presentations. We're now going to briefly move into our Q&A session. Tarash Magala from Cleveland asks if maybe a couple of you can just mention why you selected UCU as opposed to another. I mean, there are other fine universities in Ukraine. First come, first serve. Anybody want to chime in on that?
I would like to share my reason for studying at UCU. Before UCU, I was studying at the National University for a year, and there I felt like I couldn't improve neither academically or personally. My desires, my ideas, they couldn't be realized because nobody cared about it. But here at the UCU, the moment I wanted to create the BECO, the administration was like, "Oh, okay, what can we help with?" And I was so surprised because everybody was so supportive of me with my initiative and with my archery, because, well, it's hard when I have to miss the classes because of my competition, but the teachers were so supportive and helped me with everything I needed. So just the way people treat you at the UCU was like the main reason why I decided to study here. Thank you.
Wonderful. By the way, Tatiana, one of our friends, Eugene Luciu from Philadelphia, says that they have an archery program in Philadelphia with one of the Trezub sports clubs. So you have a place to come and practice archery in the United States as well.
Yeah, I already emailed them.
Oh, you're way ahead of the game. Why am I not surprised? Wonderful. Anybody else want to just chime in there?
Yeah, I would like to.
Please.
So the choice of UCU was almost obvious for me because just when I graduated from school, I had this fundamental principles that I will never give a bribe in the university, and all the Ukrainians know that the reputation of Ukrainian universities is not as good as we would like it to be. And I knew a lot of stories from my fellows about how they were made to give a bribe in the university. And it was a thing that was sort of a taboo for me. I have a really sharp feeling of justice. That is why I couldn't admit this, this probably fate for me. That is why I chose UCU. This is a place where we have a fair competition and a healthy competition among students that not only allows you to finish in university, but also allows you to grow as a human being and to multiply your knowledges in times. And all this is like what UCU gives me and other students here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Roman. Nadia Kuchmar also wanted to make a comment.
Yeah.
Nadia.
Yeah, you know, all people say that sometimes random decisions are the best ones. So this is what happened for me when I entered UCU. So when I was kind of lost before my entrance at the university, and I was like, I didn't know what to do, what do I want to do. And right now I'm really grateful for this random decision, and I think that I would never became the person I am now, and I'm really happy that I have these amazing people around me. I have so many opportunities to develop and like to form myself as a person, because really when you're studying in such a community where professors are friendly and are extremely supportive, when where university staff is also very supportive and really helpful, you form yourself, you discover yourself as a person who grows in such community and who wants to change things, who wants to I don't know, to make projects, to volunteer, to give something. So I would say that sometimes it is, you know, my personal experience that random decisions are probably the best ones. So, and I'm really grateful for them.
Great. Thanks for that very candid assessment. That's great. Also, Zvinka Kristolover says, why isn't the brotherhood called a sisterhood, given that so many women are leading the program? I think that's a fair question, Zvinka. And actually, one of the things that's been very exciting at UCU is the leadership of women. We now have a very strong women's studies program funded by the Soyuz Ukrainok, the Ukrainian National Women's League, that's had some phenomenal programs on perinatal loss and women peacemakers, where they've had people from, you know, the Baltic countries, Bosnia, South Sudan. I mean, just amazing stuff. So we're trying to build that out and to have more such opportunities for students to interface with other universities, but also other countries. I don't know if anyone else had some comments they wanted to raise their hand or wanted to offer. I don't know, Romana, whether you had some information there you wanted to share.
Mikhailo Popovich wants. So.
Go ahead, Mikhailo. Proszę дуже.
Thank you. For me, I didn't know what I will do after finishing my high school, and I really wanted to become a fitness trainer or a massage maker or something like that. But hopefully, on the beginning of 11th term, I met UCU's alumni, who is now a priest in my hometown, and we spent a lot of hours walking and talking about UCU, and he told me about Collegium, about different faculties that UCU have, and I was very excited. And after I visited Open Door Day in UCU, I strongly understand that I want to enter the UKU, and I think it was a right choice, because UKU is a great place for education, not only because there are 2 girls for 1 boy, but also because the combination between students and teachers and professors is great, because you have professor always have time to communicate with students, and you could ask him different questions that that you are wondering in. And I think that it is really a nice opportunity that a lot of universities in Ukraine don't have.
Great, great. One more comment, and then we'll be closing our event. Wait, Zvinka, I think you're trying to say something, but I think you muted your.
Yes, I don't want to start a controversy, and I'm not suggesting that the organization be called Sisterhood, because that would be equally as improper as calling it, in my view, Brotherhood, because we have both men and women, very good men and women that are part of the organization. So I'm just saying, think about a more inclusive name.
That's certainly fair enough.
I understand. Thank you for your comments. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we promised you that we would try to keep this down to an hour and 15 minutes. I think, who says that Ukrainci nie tochny? Look at this. We're closing before 1:15 as promised. I just want to add my thanks to all of the students that participated in today's forum. I apologize if any of you were not able to fit in your comments. And I want to thank all of our donors and directors and supporters from the US and Canada and Ukraine that were able to participate in this really wonderful, unique opportunity. Just to give you, because I'm the development director, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that, as you know, UKU, if you take these handful of students and you multiply this, you'll realize we now have 1,700 students, I believe, Natalia, about 1,700 students, and almost all of them need scholarship support. So your support is incredibly meaningful to all of us. We have a family on the call today, I won't name any names, that just this morning sent us a check for $25,000. God bless you. And we won't put you on the spot, but I know not everyone can make a gift that generous, but we are very, very grateful for gifts of any size that you can make to support students. Just to let you know, a full tuition scholarship is $3,300 in Ukraine at UKU, and a full scholarship with residential privileges at the Collegium, where Father Kozlovsky is the master. That is with tuition and room and board and books is $6,000. Now, having just put a couple of girls through college, I can tell you that's a bargain, right? So I think it's really important to keep in mind just the powerful impact that your gifts can have. And these students, I mean, in some ways, they're remarkable and extraordinary. In other ways, they're not extraordinary for UKU because they really reflect the caliber of students that are now coming in. Again, we're not boasting about ourselves, but we're boasting about these students. UKU right now is attracting the highest percentage of students. Over 54% of the students at UKU are now scoring in the top 5 percentile of their national exams, the Zaochny Nacionalny Opytovania, the ZNOs, which are equivalent to our SATs. And the next runner-up is about 9 percentage points behind us. Not that we're ever we're not putting any other universities down, but UKU definitely is now rising to the top of the heap as far as its support. And there are some extraordinary opportunities to also have rooms named, lecture halls named in your family's honor. A number of our donors have availed themselves of this opportunity. Just to put it a little bit in perspective, because many of you are in our inner circle of donors, UKU has done an extraordinary job under the circumstances of the coronavirus pandemic. They recently had an event in May, the Pedalaz Folk Ball, that raised over $250,000, ne hryvnia, dollars, $250,000. And they've also raised over $1 million among Ukrainian donors, local business leaders in Lviv and beyond. So they are pulling more than their fair share of the weight. Of course, they're depending still on our US support and our Canadian support. What we want to make you aware of is that even though UCU has done a fabulous job of making this amazing adjustment in very trying times, they've lost a lot of revenues from summer programs, for instance, that have had to be canceled, our summer language programs, and also the revenues that were generated by our fifth floor in the Collegium, which is a set of guest suites, guest rooms that people can rent out, and other programs such as this. So we are very much in need. By the end of July 31st, we need to bridge a $300,000 gap in UCU's funding. Here in the United States, thank God and thank all of our donors, we're actually ahead of the game as far as our early donations. And for that, I'm especially grateful to all of you who have made early donations and larger donations than you have in previous years. But we still have this substantial gap of about $300,000. And if any of you are interested in helping us bridge that gap, whatever you can afford. But if you can consider a scholarship gift for other students of this caliber, you've got a wonderful opportunity. And so Joe Salamini, our COO, or Tarash Magala, Yulia Kumar, Natalia, any of us would be glad to speak with you about this in more detail. So that's basically it. One last thing also, today we've talked a lot about the student needs. We also have a wonderful campaign called Lift Up Your Hearts. We have a beautiful church on campus that was designed by Ivan Berezhnitsky, a Cambridge architect, one of our dear friends from Boston. They are still in the process of upgrading, not upgrading, but providing icons and frescoes that are just gorgeous. But that's still a major need, and gifts of $5,000 or $10,000 can entitle you to a special memorial plaque or a brick in the church building. And I think you'll be incredibly moved by the beauty of that. So there it is. That's how much we've accomplished so far, how much UCU has accomplished. This is Christ the Pantocrator with the archangels. There's the next stage is the octagon, which will feature pivotal moments in the life of Christ around this octagon. So for those of you who are interested, this is a beautiful opportunity to really leave a pretty close to a permanent legacy for your families to support this kind of an event. We're now 3 minutes over. See, I said we were all touching and now I'm three minutes behind. I really am very grateful to all of you. A special thanks to Roman Vascu and our technical coordinators who made this possible. And thank you, Natalia and Olyu Zarichinska, for your work in the development department to make this all possible and for recruiting a fabulous group of students that really reflect the best that UCU has to offer. So Chais Shestid, God bless all of you. Let's keep praying for peace in Ukraine, peace in America, and peace in the world. And thank you again for all of you.
Thank you also, Alex. And you know that this is your birthday, Alex. So, maybe we can sing Mnoga Elita together to feel our community. So, може, Владико запрошуємо, Владико Андрій, попровадити нас в многоелітстві.
Thank you.
Добре, що ви це згадали. Thank you for reminding everyone that it's Alex's birthday, and always. І сьогодні від нас усіх, on behalf of everyone here present online, and also many other students and faculty too, and everyone who works at USAF too, we would like to extend you the best wishes of great health, good health for many years to come, happiness and joy in whatever you do. And please know that you are doing a wonderful job and you are just kind of one kind of part of it all, but because of you, many things do happen. And I hope that you will continue to do that for many years to come, because whatever you are doing, whatever USAF is doing, it changes many people's lives. And we heard stories of it today. May God bless you for many years to come. Na mnogi I blagi lita.
Thank you.
Многая літа, літа, многая літа. Многая
літа, літа,
многая літа. Остави его спасение. Многая літа. And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Pane, always. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Thank you so much, Vladiko. God bless you. Дякую щиро. This is a wonderful, wonderful birthday that you've made for me. So thank you so much, and may God bless all of you. And let's maintain our solidarity. Будьмо.
Дякую, дякую всім студентам, дякую всім нашим жертводавцям. Thank you, all of you. That's really amazing to see all of you here.
Thank you. Let's be in touch. Thank you all. God bless.
Thank you.
Па-па.